What is up, everyone? Thank you for clicking on the video. Today I'm just gonna quickly walk through all my Warzone settings that I adjusted and changed since the new season, both in Warzone and then Nvidia Graphics. We're gonna start off with just Warzone, so that way if you don't have a Nvidia graphics card, you don't have to watch the end of the video. Alright. I play on controller, so this is going to be controller specific. So let's start there. Obviously, input device is controller. I play on a custom button layout. It's pretty much just tactical, but some minor adjustments. A lot of these I'm just going to kind of leave with a little less detail because it's personal preference. Horizontal stick, I like 1.8, nothing higher than that. You could do 1.6 to match vertical, but I feel like the horizontal sensitivity is more important than the vertical. Off, controller vibration off, dead zone inputs. I've never even seen that, but I go 270 to 99, 13, and 13 for those. And then obviously this is also going to depend on your controller and any stick drifts, so you can adjust as you see fit. Aiming, sensitivity, multiplayer, third person 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, look inversion, standard. Aiming advanced settings, there should be nothing standard. ADS sensitivity, transition timing, that should be set to instant. And then aim response curve type, dynamic, I set that at 1. Custom sensibility or sensitivity per zoom on, and then I go 0.85, 0.85, 0.85, 1.05, 1.05, and 1.05. Again, a lot of this is going to kind of depend on your feel for it, so you could always start around these numbers and then kind of adjust as you see fit. Target aim assist on, obviously if you're using controller should have this on. ADS aim assist, same thing on. Motion sense behavior off. And then I don't think I have anything here. Yeah, off. I'll just kind of scroll through and you can match them. Okay. Moving on to movement, tactical sprint assist for sprint assist. I have seen recently some people turn this off. I haven't tested that out yet. I just feel like tactical sprint assist is the standard. Sprint assist delay 0, on, mantle assist off, crouch assist off. Corner slice on, again, that's kind of up to you. It's took a little of adjusting, honestly, but I've had it on for the last like 2 months and I really like it. Same goes for slide dive behavior. I got that on hybrid. I've kind of gone back and forth on this, but have stuck with hybrid for the last couple months. It does take some getting used to, and if you have somewhat of a broken controller, it can affect you in negative ways, so it's a personal choice, but I think hybrid is the best after you take a couple games to get used to it. Automatic airborne mantle on, sprint restore on, slide maintains on, off, parachute it should always be off. Just helps with diving down, and then obviously you don't want to cancel your reload. advanced settings, I have this on toggle, off on auto move forward, auto door peek off, single tap sprint, and then free for plunging underwater, sprinting door bash on. Vehicle behaviors, again, I'll just let you take a look at those. I don't think I've really adjusted anything from default. Okay, combat, aim down sight behavior, hold, tactical stance on toggle, tactical stance activation, ADS and down button, weapon mount, again, body shield finishing move, I prioritize finishing move, armor plate behavior, I have on apply 1. For years I had apply all, but I just feel like if you're in the middle of a fight, that can kind of mess you up. So switch it to apply 1, and I prefer it now. C4, 1 by 1, equipment behavior, hold, manual fire press, advanced, change zoom, sprint. Again, I think all of this is pre-default, no major changes there. Scoreboard toggle, I don't think, again, pretty standard. You can just check it against what you have, and then that does it for like the actual controller combat. More important stuff, graphics. So right now I just have it on full screen borderless, but full screen exclusive, I believe actually helps with FPS. So you're going to want to do that. Obviously display monitor, whatever you're playing on, and then your graphics card, aspect ratio, automatic, restart shaders, preloading. I recommend you doing that. If you are on a monitor, should be 2.2 versus the 2.4. Gamma and brightness, again, I continuously mess with this, but I really don't see a difference anywhere between like 50 and 60. I lean more towards 55 to 60, but again, I adjust as I see fit. I don't really see a benefit actually plus 60 though, and obviously you don't want to be all the way down. I have noticed with like if it goes above 60, it kind of messes with textures and the graphics as a whole. Nvidia on, set to efficiency off, 100%, frame rate custom, and then you can adjust from there. Reduce menu render resolution optimal, pause game rendering off, reduce quality when inactive. Again, not major stuff. I just have it for 10 minutes, and then quality, graphic preset custom, render resolution should be at 100, dynamic resolution off, upscale and sharpening, I have this set at fidelity FX CAS. I have seen some people prefer the Nvidia DLSS, but it does use AI to make up those images, which does affect FPS. So fidelity, cache strength, I go 75. Again, I've seen people all the way at 100. I think 75 is perfect for pretty good graphics, and then not losing on FPS. So if you have a better graphics card than me, then maybe you can get away with 100 and not lose on FPS. AMD off, VRAM scale target, I set that at 70. It might be worth to adjust. I just had it 70 because I was getting a lot of DirectX errors and I saw that it helped. So keeping it for now. Variable rate shading off. texture resolution. This keeps adjusting on me. This should be normal. Texture should be normal. So normal, off, detail quality, high, particle resolution. You can keep that very low. I keep bullet impacts on, the effects on, and then shader quality medium. On-demand texture optimized, and then you can adjust from there. Local texture normal, and then shadow quality low, screen space off, low, off. Moving on to view, motion reduction preset off. I like my FOV at 110. I would say anywhere between 110 and 115 is probably optimal. I think 120 is a little bit too much, and anything under that, it's not worth it. Kind of hurts your eyes. But again, personal. Field of view, affected weapon field of view. You want that on wide, third person 90. Vehicle field of view, wide again. World motion blur off. Weapon motion blur off. Least 50. Third person ADS. Inverted flashbang, I turn that off. And then parachute camera perspective, first person. Okay. Covers most of the graphics. Again, a lot of this will be more affected with the Nvidia app. So let's get through audio and then interface. Master game volume, I have at 88. Kind of adjust. Sometimes it's just so loud, especially in the beginning of the game, but 88 is a pretty good number. Gameplay music off, dialogue volume low, effects all the way up, and then cinematic music 0. Obviously, it's going to be depending on what you got. And then I've been using the Treyarch mix again, kind of switched between that and Sucker Punch. But I found Treyarch mix to be the best in the recent couple updates. And then again, I'll just kind of scroll through here. I have this off on reduced sound. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. It just kind of reduces like that high pitch sound a little bit better on your ears. And then the hit mark preset I like as classic, old school Black Ops hit marker sound effects. Sounds better to me, but not a big deal. Voice chat, I'm going to skip over that. Again, a lot personal. Opinions, automatic. Again, a lot of these. This is an important one. Skip the introduction movie. Kind of speeds up actually getting into the game. So I do that. Telemetry again. Up to you. I've got FPS counter, latency, packet loss, GPU temperature, and VRAM usage. If you want the clock, if you want the processing, up to you. And then just default on the label size. And then on, readability, off. Subtitles, I turn all off. Doesn't matter because they're all off. 0, default. And then color customization, default on the HUD color. Again, you can mess with this all you want to change it. Same with squad member colors. I do filter 2, which I find the best both like visually and again for FPS. So if you do filter 2, should be for both, and then 100. Moving on to Gameplay Hub. Again, not like a bunch of changes, but I'll just cover some of the major ones. obviously should be square. There's no reason to be playing on round. You're gonna lose a lot of info. On, off, horizontal, and then I like to have the attack sprint bar displayed, so I just display it near health. And then on, and then this is like a new one, and I think it has to do with like the new S&D contract. I just have it as off. You can turn it on if you want. Custom ping duration, if you want to set it. If you're bad at unmarking your pings, then maybe, you know, set it lower so it only stays visible for whatever allotted time you want. Crosshair, obviously on, and then again, this is going to come to personal preference, but I do largest on 80, and then pick your color. I like green because it's pretty visible. Could be red, could be blue, whatever stands out to you. Hit marker visuals on, damage base hit markers on, elimination feed 100 to 100, and then that should cover everything. So again, a lot of it's going to come down to personal preference, but all my settings, at least just on the Warzone settings side, should help with frames per second and just visual quality. So you're not losing out too much on your graphic quality for better frames, and you're not losing out frames for better graphics quality. With that being said, if you do have a Nvidia graphics card, then this next part is for you. If you don't, then hope you found everything else enjoyable and useful. See you next time. All right, let me blow this up. So starting, there's not too much here, but the first thing you want to do is go to display, change resolution, make sure that's on your main monitor, right? So I have two monitors, one for gaming and then one for Discord and OBS. So you want to make sure it's PC, select your resolution, it should be the native, and then refresh rate is at the highest. And then apply the following settings. You want to make sure it's set to use Nvidia color settings. Desktop color depth is going to be highest, 32-bit. Output 8 BPC. And then RGB and full for output dynamics range. Okay, again, this is going to be somewhat personal preference on some of it. I believe a lot of this is default, so 50, 50 plus 1.06, and then digital vibrance I have at plus 89%. Again, you can kind of mess with that and see what works better for you. Hue plus 0%. And then you don't need any of this stuff. Adjust video color settings. Again, make sure your gaming monitor is selected with Nvidia settings. Brightness plus 50, contrast plus 50, hue plus 172, saturation plus 50, gamma plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and then dynamic range full 0 to 255. That's probably the most important on this page. When it comes to this stuff, it's going to be personal preference and how you want everything to look, but this is pretty standard. And then that should be it. So hopefully everyone found that helpful. Comment below if you have feedback on maybe adjusting something else. Obviously, anytime there's an update, whether big or small, Call of Duty adjusts something and it kind of throws everything off. So this is just what I found useful the last pretty much since season 3 as far as graphics and FPS goes. But again, comes down to personal preference. So if you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I do stream here on YouTube and Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Lots of Warzone content. So check out the shorts and everything else. Appreciate you.